Hello. I wasn't able to put a thumbnail on this stream for some reason, so not sure how much that really matters, but got a bunch of upcoming streams. Let's just go ahead and delete those. It wouldn't let me put a thumbnail. It kept saying I was forbidden. I was worried I got banned from live streaming. So, I don't know what that was about. And it's taken a minute to delete these broadcast it created. That's fine, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing most of the time. Okay, it got rid of them. My subscriber count, it keeps going up and down around 800 to 812. It's like I'll upload something and one or two people will be like, no, thank you. But then someone else will see it and be like, yes, please. So I still haven't quite found my audience. Go figure. But I am going to take another shot at this test. I'm going to go to DPS after I do this test again, the Texas general knowledge, and then hopefully I will pass it. But I wanted to do one more run of the practice test before I go down there. I feel pretty good about it. We shall see, shan't we? Whenever you stop for a break during your trip, you should call in and check with dispatch. No, thank you. Check critical items such as tires, brake, and cargo tie downs. Yeah. Check critical items such as windshield wipers, heater, and defroster. In the middle of summer? No, I'm going to go with B. Correct. For an en route inspection, check the tires, wheels, and truck body for signs of heat whenever you stop during your trip. I guess that's really referring to friction buildup. Last time I took this test on this website, it was 4 questions or 4 options. I wonder if the next one will have 4. No? Am I misremembering? I might be. High beam should be used whenever it is safe and legal to do so. Turned on when an oncoming driver does not dim his or her lights. Teach them a lesson, right? Dimmed when you're within 100 feet of another vehicle. Used whenever it is safe and legal to do so. Correct. Use the high beams whenever it is safe and legal to do so. Use them when you are not within 500 feet of an approaching vehicle. So the 100 feet, you're off by 5, you know, or 400 feet. Next question. Pulling. Wait, I was about to answer. I didn't sleep very well last night. I don't know why. Well, I know why, but I don't know why that was happening. The safety release valve is located on an air tank and is used by pulling a hand valve, self-operated when the air pressure is above 150 psi, must be pulled after every working day. Is used by, not when should it be used. Pulling a hand valve, wrong. Self-operated when the air pressure is above 150 psi. I know that for the school bus test, yeah, for the school bus test, it tells you to use the safety valve on. See, that's where I should have read that more carefully. The safety release, not the manual release. Because the manual release you're supposed to do at the end of every day during your post trip inspection. And the reason you do that is because air gets sucked into the tanks. Of course, air does. Water molecules get sucked into the tank whenever it's pulling air into it. And those water molecules can build up over time. So you want to manually discharge the air tanks to make sure that during the winter your air tanks don't freeze. So I should have read that question more carefully. It says safety release valve, which is a mechanism that automatically kicks in for safety purposes, which would be above 150 psi. I should have read that better. You know what? I haven't taken my meds today. Probably because I didn't sleep very well last night. I will be right back. I'm gonna go get my meds and take them. I was wondering why I couldn't get woken up this morning. That'll help for sure. I got a 2 can of coffee. It's like, come on, coffee, do your job. No, it needs a little booster. Man, I'm glad I realized that before going down to the DPS. Oh man. I'm just barely hanging on, guys, by a real thin thread. It's just. Which of these is a proper use of vehicle lights and flashers? Turning on your headlights during the day when visibility is reduced due to rain or snow, flashing your brake lights to warn someone behind you of a hazard that will require slowing down, flashing your brake lights to warn someone behind you that you are going to stop on the road. I want to say all of the above. Correct. Warn following drivers by flashing your brake lights. Don't stop suddenly. If you see a hazard that will require slowing down, warn the other drivers behind you by flashing your brake lights. In 18-wheelers, there's a button on the steering wheel that will flash your brakes manually, and you can just tap it. They'll blink really fast to the touch, and truckers generally use them to say thank you to each other. And it really is encouraging whenever someone flashes you, like, not in a not safe for work way. And whenever I'm driving my four-wheeler, which is just a normal car, and I make space for truckers to merge or pass or anything else like that, and they move and, they merge in front of me and they give me the flash, I'm like, yeah. Which of the following is a key steering component? Gearbox, bearing plate, torque rod, leaf spring. I want to say the gearbox. It might be the torque rod. Gearboxes are for shifting gears. A bearing plate, I think it's just a solid, like well bolted down plate to bear stuff. Torque rod. I know leaf springs have to do with the brakes and the suspension. Whenever you turn the wheel, that is torque. So I'm going to say torque rod, but I could be wrong. Nope. Gearbox. The gearbox is part of the steering system, and other choices are part of the suspension system. Okay. The bearing plate is probably where the leaf springs are mounted. But remember, gearbox is to do with turning the wheel. It's a key steering component. Torque rod. No, that's wrong. The gearbox. I remember the mechanic at my old company was always working on gearboxes. I was like, consistent. Something he was consistently doing. The name of it, you would think, it has something to do with shifting gears. And maybe it does as well. Gearbox, gearbox, gearbox is a key component in steering. The gearbox is a key steering component. Remember that. How can you start moving without rolling backwards? Engage the clutch before removing your foot from the brake. Apply the trailer brake hand valve. Set the parking brake whenever necessary. Do all of the above. Uh, uh, how can you start moving without rolling backward? Two of these are specifically about brakes. I want to say engage clutch before removing your foot from the brake because whenever you're in gear, you're going to move. Like when you put your car in drive before you even hit the gas pedal, you will slowly start moving forward because you are not in neutral. You are in the first gear. I mean, if you're on a hill and put it in neutral, you'll go down whichever direction you're facing in whichever direction the grade is in. I want to say engaging the clutch. Sorry, all of the above. Hmm. I mean, if you engage the trailer brake hand valve, that's like the brake, brake, brake. Like, I guess just remember to turn it off before you try to take off. I mean, you'll know. Depending on how heavy your trailer is, you're not going to go anywhere. So, which is not one of the four basic skills that operating a commercial motor vehicle requires: accelerating, steering, first aid, certification, backing safely. You do not have to get first aid certification. What is the average reaction distance? 32 feet, 61 feet, 93 feet. Um, average. It's either 32 or 61. I'm going to go with 32. Wrong, 61. 3/4 second to 1 second at 55 miles per hour. This accounts for 61 feet traveled. I was feeling pretty confident going into this, but not so much anymore. I don't feel as confident as I did. The most common cause of serious vehicle skids is driving too fast for road conditions, poorly adjusted brakes, bad tires, poorly designed roads. Probably all of these, but driving too fast. Correct. A skid happens whenever the tires lose their grip on the road. Most serious skids result from driving too fast for the road conditions. All right, baby, I'm back on top. Got one question right. Okay. I was making sure I was on the Texas general knowledge and not just the general knowledge. The distance that you should look ahead of your vehicle when driving amounts to about blank at highway speed. On block, 500 feet, 1/4 mile. How far out is the horizon? One block. No? Man, I could have sworn I answered another question last time that the answer to this question was one block. And I thought one block was about 1/4 mile. Most good drivers look at least 12 to 15 seconds ahead. That means looking ahead at the distance you will travel in 10 to 15 seconds. At lower speeds, that's about one block. The question, at highway speed. Man, I got to get woken up. You must park on side of a level, straight, or two-lane road. Where should you place the three reflecting triangles? One within 10 feet of the rear of the vehicle, one about 100 feet to the rear, and one about 200. One about 10 feet to the rear, one about 100 feet to the rear, and one about 100 feet. No, you don't put them in front. People are coming from behind. But it says two-lane road. Well, if they're traveling in the opposite direction you were in and they're about to hit the front of your truck, I think you and them have bigger problems than a triangle. One about 50 feet to the rear of the vehicle, one about 100 feet to the rear of the vehicle, and one about 100 feet to the front of the vehicle. One within 10 feet of the front of the vehicle, one about 200 feet from the front, and one about 100 feet from the rear. I I think it's A. No? Man. Man, this is not looking good for me. I am doing real bad. One within 10 feet of the rear of the vehicle, one about 100 feet to the rear, and one about 100 feet in front. I guess the two-lane is what makes the difference there. Wake up, 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 brain. Come on, brain. I need you to wake up. If you are convicted for driving under the influence while driving a commercial vehicle, and this is your first offense, you will most likely get a warning, at least 1 year. I do know that one. Thank God. You will lose your CDL for at least 1 year for the first offense for driving a CMV if your blood alcohol concentration is 0.04 or higher, or driving CMV under the influence of alcohol. I mean, that gives you a lot of room for the amount of alcohol in your system. It's like it doesn't matter if you're 0.05 or if you're 1.5, which I think you would be dead at that point. It's still 1 year. front end front end header boards protect you from your cargo in case of a collision. In day cabs, which are tractors without a sleeper, no, I think that's talking about the flatbed trailers. They have a front board, header board there for the protect you from your cargo because people have gotten decapitated from their cargo shifting and going right into the cab. And like right there. No answers are correct. Block the forward movement of your cargo, protect you from your cargo in case of collision, and black. Block the forward movement of your cargo. I think it's this one. Okay. Okay, finally. Finally getting some answers right. Front end header boards or headache cracks protect you from your cargo in case of a crash or emergency stop. The front end structure should block the forward movement of any cargo you carry. People hauling steel plates, if they break too hard and the steel plates just, that's what that's for, to protect you. But I think I'm taking the general knowledge test. I don't think this is the Texas general knowledge test. So you just saw me go specifically to the Texas special requirements. Yeah, see up here it says Texas special. Texas general knowledge. Yes, I was taking the wrong test. Because Texas is so special. We just gotta have everything be Texified in all of the worst ways. It'd be cool if Texas was like, we're gonna do good things the Texas way. Instead, it's like, oh, you think the South is regressive? Oh, buddy, strap in. You're about to learn what real regressivism is. All motor vehicles, trailers, semi trailers, or pole trailers manufactured after year, I know it's 59. This is the one that I keep freaking psyching myself and tricking myself into doing it wrong. It's either 3080 or 4080. And I feel like I always choose 3080 because I thought it was 4080 and I got it wrong, but I tricked myself into thinking, see, I'm not, I'm not, uh, I'm going to do 40/80, but it might be 30/80. No, it's 80/30. I was wrong on all fronts. You just stop. I didn't even read the question, so that'll that'll do it. You just stopped your CMV on the shoulder of a road. You must immediately activate your hazard lights if your CMV is at least blank inches wide or at least blank feet long. You just stopped your CMV on the shoulder of the road. You must immediately activate your hazard warning lights if your CMV is at least blank inches wide or at least blank feet long. 80 inches wide would be the standard width of a semi-trailer. 30 feet long would be like a bus. Eighty inches wide or at least blank feet long. 80/30. 80/30. When any CMV 80 inches or more in width or 30 feet or more in overall length is stopped upon a roadway or adjacent shoulder, the driver shall immediately activate the vehicle's electric hazard warning signal light. 80/30. 80 inches wide, 30 feet long, must activate hazards. When one vehicle is towing another, the connection must not be longer than 15 feet and there must be a white flag attached. On an open road, maintain a following distance of at least blank seconds. 4. If you are towing a house trailer at night outside the city limits or on a divided highway, your vehicle must be equipped with 2 flares and 3 portable emergency reflectors, 2 red flags, 2 flares or 2 portable red emergency reflectors, 3 flares and 3 portable emergency reflectors. It's an either or thing. So it's 3 flares or 3 portable. You don't have to have both. Okay. CMVs weighing blank pounds or more with metal tires are not permitted. 5,000. When following another vehicle, a CMV must leave a 2-second following distance, 5 feet between the CMV and the other vehicle in front, enough space for another vehicle to pass and enter safely. It's this one. Surge or inertia brakes may be used on trailers and semi-trailers with gross weight of 15,000. In bad weather, increase your following distance to 6 to 8 seconds. With exception of cotton vehicles and vehicles carrying, it's 102. If the load you are hauling is blank, then allowed by law, you must obtain a special permit from Texas Department of Transportation. Heavier, longer, wider, or higher. Correct. What type of lighting does every farm tractor and every self-propelled unit of farm equipment have to have? 2 headlamps, 1 tail light, 2 red reflectors, hazard warning lights, flashers, white or amber in the front, and red or amber in the rear. It's this one. Your vehicle has broken down on a highway. What is the first thing you must do? Call emergency help, put out the proper flares, flags, or reflectors. It's this one. Combination vehicles that weigh more than 3,000 pounds must be able to stop within blank feet when traveling at 20 miles an hour. I think it's 50. All right. Every vehicle that is designed to operate at speeds of blank miles per hour or less requires slow-moving vehicle emblems. I know it's 25, but I just want to refresh myself on what these things look like. Yeah, red outside, orange inside. I'm sure the people up in Pennsylvania have seen these on the Amish people's, whatever they're called, carriages. But I just wanted to make sure I remembered the red triangle with the orange inside. It's 25. Trailers, semi-trailers, and pole trailers that weigh more than 4,500 pounds must, but no more than 15,000 pounds are operated at speeds over 30 miles per hour, must have a brake on the left wheel of the rear axle, are not required to have brakes, must have a brake on the right wheel of the rear axle, must have brakes on both wheels of the rear axle. Semi-trailers, pole trailers, weigh more than 4,500 pounds, no more than 15,000. I'm pretty sure you have to have brakes on both wheels of the rear axle. Because I remember I got this question right last time, but it stuck with me. And I was like, shouldn't every trailer have brakes? And then I remembered, like, most trailers that people haul around do not have brakes, and they rely on the hitch where it's connected to, you know, push against the vehicle slowing down and stopping. And that's probably where the weight comes in. Like, no combination of vehicles last time I got this one wrong. other than a truck, tractor, trailer combination may exceed 65. Vehicles transporting blank must use flammables, can't have flares. On a steep downgrade, you should shift to a lower gear. What is the maximum weight for a single or combination vehicle, including its load? 80,000. A semi-trailer or trailer may not exceed a length of blank feet each when 28 and 1/2. If you are being tailgated, you should increase your following distance. When driving during the summer, you should be alert for construction areas. How high can a vehicle be, including the load it is hauling? 14 feet. Combination vehicles weighing 3,000 pounds or less must be able to stop within blank feet while traveling 20 miles an hour. 40? Yes. Combination vehicles weighing 3,000 pounds or less must be able to stop within 40 feet while traveling 20 miles an hour. What is the color of rear clearance lamps on any truck, bus, or trailer 80 inches or more width? Red. The vehicle's registration papers must provide the max all of the above. Last time I answered this question, I was like, I don't remember ever having a license plate receipt. I remembered that yes, I did. I definitely did, for sure. It was kind of like a big deal, like a really big deal.